Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Opportunity. Our scientific mission is straightforward. Examine the space around, monitor the surface of, and perhaps lead a team into the anomaly at Sector A98. Tune in to hear John Garlick run the adventure with Jay Duguay, John Kennedy, Justin Wiggy, myself, and a host of special guests joining us at the table. Galactic adventures begin just after this music.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gaming with Scott. I am here with Joshua Jackson.
What's up?
I am here with John Kennedy.
Hello.
And I am here with John Garlick, our storyteller. Take it away, John.
Hey, kids.
Hey.
All right. So when last we left the USS Opportunity, you guys were advancing into the WLM Dwarf Galaxy.
Yay!
Yay, dwarf galaxy! Yay!
I love dwarves.
Yay!
Is Gimli there?
Tallest dwarf! Yay!
I hate everybody. But anyway,
Boo.
so you guys had downloaded some star charts from the AI that was managing some kind of
The crystalline...
stellar extraction project.
Yes.
Where some kind of mega engineering project was left running. The
And
AI
spitting out donut worlds.
Yep, 1,000 miles wide, 100 miles thick. Each donut is, if it were spinning, would be big enough to be its own little terrestrial biome. And so, they had been floating around out there long enough for some of them to clump together and form sort of a mini planetoid or two. But they'd filled up half of a good chunk of a solar system, spitting out, extracting raw material from a star and spitting out these things from a entirely automated factory.
Yeah.
These guys had a nice little chat with the AI, that was created eons ago by a race called the Kenka.
Created 99999 error years ago.
Yes.
We look at it. It's just like, wait, this translates to 9 days ago. You're really quick.
So, you guys were advancing into the galaxy. There were 3 likely points of interest.
Yeah, 3 headings.
So we'll BioWare this up a little bit, give you guys some different directions.
Venn diagram.
Nice.
Who's Venn?
Who's Vin? Diesel?
Yeah.
I want to game with that guy. Hey, Vin Diesel, if you're listening, we'll have you on Star Trek some night.
absolutely.
Just telling you.
I would love to game with him. And,
Yeah.
I forget his name, but is it Joe
DiMaggio?
Maggiano?
No, it's Sofia Vergara's husband.
Yeah. Huge gamer.
Oh, wow.
Huge
Yes.
gamer.
I would officially give up gaming for that evening and sit company with Sophia because I wouldn't want her to feel uncomfortable. We could go into the other room and make out. I mean, hold hands and talk.
Yeah.
I would take one for the team.
I would do anything to go back in time and play a game of Warhammer with Robin Williams.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
His daughter's putting his collection up for auction soon, and you could tell that he was really rich. He owned armor cast Titans from 40K, which at the time they were released were several $1,000s, and today alone they're worth like $8,000 or $9,000. But because he owned them and painted them, I'm not saying they're not millions clearly, but it's sort of like I don't have $50,000 to buy a big latex
Holy
Titan.
hell.
Right.
I want to.
I definitely want to.
Someday.
And even then, to play Warhammer with 40K, I would gladly sit with Sophia Varga while you did that, and we could sit in the other room.
But my husband doesn't play Warhammer, but I'll keep you
that's
company.
okay. I don't want you to get forlorn.
Nope.
All right, so
So, sorry.
Okay.
We were off into my own little... Go ahead, John.
there were 3 different destinations. One is the general destination that leads towards the Kenka. It's a bunch of very old stars, red with age. Basically the way that this galaxy is more or less laid out. It's an oblate spheroid, roughly oval shaped, with the exterior of the galaxy made up of very old stars, with a lot of new formation in the middle. This particular dwarf galaxy is unusual, astronomically speaking, in that it hasn't been acted upon by other galaxies in their gravitational pull. And so it is often used as a sort of an example of a typical galaxy. If it weren't a model, if it weren't acted upon by
totally cool.
being collided with
other galaxies.
Other
etc.
galaxies,
Right.
yeah.
Cool.
So inside the galaxy, there is new star formation that's going on, and on the outside, it is much older stars from previous generations of stellar creation.
Superstar. Very nice.
And one direction is an area that is highly likely to be rich in old civilizations. It is old main sequence stars. Several of them have gone red. Very likely to have habitable worlds, or at least it used to, sometime in the past.
Okay.
Other option
Numero tres.
includes that's number one.
Right. That's towards the Kinka.
Number two is an unusual potential area of physics research where there is a very large energy cloud that is you've identified in more or less the opposite direction, going further out into space, where it appears to be just sort of this very big, high energy object, roughly football shaped, sort of like egg shaped, where there are parts of this gaseous field, which is several hundred light years in length, that seem to blink in and out of existence. The whole thing is highly energized. It is very likely to involve creatures not unlike the beastie that
lure
swallowed you
beast.
in the first thing. Yeah,
Nice.
the Site A98 creature.
Okay.
But hard to say. It would also be a good place to hide if you were being chased by something. It is just sort of on the periphery of the galaxy. If you guys were, if it were the Milky Way, it would be where the Great Barrier would be.
Nice. Okay. So that's the mating pool for all of the beasts from sector A98. Just thought I'd let you know. Moving on.
I had the theory that it might just be the main body of the beast.
Possible.
That's
Good.
even more terrifying
Oh,
than what I came up with.
Both are terrifying. I agree.
Great.
Oh.
Oh, joy. All right, wonderful. It's lying there, coiled in an energy mass that's just...
Waiting to chomp on you.
That's wonderful.
And then watch, in the middle of that mass is actually like Planet Eden, where we all become gods upon getting there, but we didn't want to go there because we thought it'd be yucky.
Well, now we
Why would we go there? We're just going to die.
Now we have to.
No, that's wonderful. So that was number 2.
That was number 2.
Great.
The second point of interest is more or less straight into the galaxy. There is a large area of rapid star formation, where it is likely that there are very young stars, unlikely to have very old civilizations on them. But also, we're talking astronomical amounts of time. There could be people there. But
Right.
it is an area
Well,
where
there could be beings there.
Beings.
Sentience.
Truth.
you are outside of the theoretical area where the Milky Way was seeded with people-shaped things.
Right.
Oh,
we're
that
way,
episode.
Yeah, that episode.
Yeah,
Boo.
yeah, we're way outside
You're-
of where the Vorlons were sprinkling their seed packets. Is
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, R.I.P. Babylon 5.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Fair enough.
but anyway,
Let's play that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
John.
We're about to start. Be quiet.
if you want to run that, we can do that in another podcast.
So I want to play a Narn in this one.
Oh.
Well, unfortunately,
Oh,
the
you need a
budget is
Bajoran?
not.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
So many parallels. All right. So that is the other direction. New star formation.
I know where I would go, but I don't have any real say in where the ship goes.
No, you don't.
But part of me would say that it might be safer to check out the where the Kinka might have been. I don't think we're going to meet the Kinka because if they were still around, then they would have ordered their
Turned off their little donut maker.
yeah. Although, did we scan each one of these little donuts for life?
We've left a probe.
There
are clusters of them that have life.
There's probes everywhere.
Life has developed independently on the primordial soup that has accreted around some of these.
Oh, now I really want to
objects.
investigate these worlds. Like,
Wait,
why
wait,
would we go anywhere?
Wait. I was going to ask the ship that we were following or looking for. What happened with that? Or
Oh, the Fahrenheit
Yeah.
is. Well, you have.
isn't that the third? Like maybe we should go follow.
No, that's the fourth because there was potential coordinates for the direction they went off in.
Okay.
The basically based on the trajectory that you were able to narrow down, it went in one of these three directions.
Okay.
That's what narrows it down out of this entire galaxy of potential destinations.
Nice.
Wow.
So none of these are going to be diverging from your mission.
Right, and we've left a fleet of probes in this particular sector, both to monitor the creation of new donuts and to scan and continue to relay data regarding the worlds that are pseudo-inhabited and moving from there.
Okay, then my vote, if we were allowed our votes, Captain, would be to my recommendation. That sounds more professional.
That's the word you're looking
my
for.
vote is we go. No, my recommendation would be we could try to go to the Kinka's old homeworlds. We could see what happened to them, and if they are still there, although it's unlikely with their suns having expanded, then perhaps they may be agreeable towards helping us. It's clear that they no longer seek an expansion of their own territory because they can make more.
Truth.
Okay, so you want to mirror their technology?
No, I want to see if they're still there. And of course, if they're not there anymore, then we might be able to find technology that could assist us.
So you want to mirror their technology? Got it.
Well, I mean,
When you say it, it sounds bad.
Oh.
When you point out where in the book of Starfleet rules and regulations that it violates the law, it sounds bad. But I'm saying...
Okay, no. I'm not against investigation of the Kinka to see. I'm hoping we find that it was natural, like their society just went through, the normal expanse and contraction of a regular society. I hope we're not going to find indicators of the fact that we're still on the other end of, a Fermi paradox incident that would prove why it is that, that this galaxy is going to be doomed. But, hey, you never know.
But Captain, maybe the Fahrenheit went towards the gaseous giant or whatnot, seeing if they could get back to their original entry point into this part of the galaxy.
well, your EXO.
I was going to say, what does Fukuda say?
Fukuda says, okay,
Sorry, I had to
pinch
get it.
off that joke. That joke, you know what's funny? Funnier than that joke, like the thing where children are dying and they grant their wishes. That's a better the Make-A-Wish Foundation is funnier than that joke.
Wait, what? You make jokes about the Make-A-Wish
I
Foundation?
just made a joke about the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It is
Jesus.
funnier than
And if there is a hell,
than
you will
that
be
joke.
there shortly, sir.
Yes.
Man, you definitely have no worries to the end of your days.
Oh.
He's going to be a greeter at hell.
yeah.
Like, hi, welcome to hell.
What kind of ironic punishment can we interest you in?
I did like that it's hot in here. And every time you think it's hot in here, the temperature will go up 1 degree.
Oh, wow.
So, hey, there, you just thought it.
It's getting hot
thanks.
in here.
So take off all your clothes.
Okay.
Wow, Jack. So,
Yeah.
what does Fukuda say?
Fukuda says, well, we
For
need
the
to
love
get
of all that is
into the head of your esteemed colleague, Whitaker, and see what he would think. where would he take his ship
Where are we going, Forrest?
when he was on the run? If you were in his shoes, you captained the same kind of ship. You have all the same training. You know what he knows.
I would have gone towards the gas giant.
She says, "Well, there you go."
Alrighty. O'Neill, laying a course to the outer
Pango.
limits of the gas giant and drop sensor probe, do some preliminary readings, and let me know what we find.
Aye,
Okay.
sir.
It'll take a certain amount of time for you guys to get there. So it's basically heading out of the main star mass of this galaxy towards the edge.
Okay.
So it'll take you a few days to make your way there from
Very nice.
from your previous location.
Okay.
Okay. I want all departments to prepare readiness drills and tell me how ready.
Emergency preparedness, sir.
Yeah, how ready they are. I want to make sure that we don't have any Romulan. Remember how we had the guy that was trying to take over the ship, the problem with the EMH and all of that?
Yes.
I want to make sure that our systems are up to snuff and that there's going to be no. I don't want any surprises.
We'll do system diagnostics for the next 24 hours, sir. We'll figure
That's the plan.
Okay.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right, you guys fall into something of a routine. It's a little bit comforting. You're in a bizarre scenario further out than any Starfleet ship has ever gone. Oh, well, I mean, except for the guys you're tracking, but they don't count. But there's a certain comfort in going back into the routine of running a starship. After the bizarre and chaotic events of the last few days. So, but first of all, on the way, you encounter another ship. So, Jackson, have O'Neill give me a roll. I need. I'm going to need your. Let's call it. This is going to be using the sensors of the ship. So, give me a roll for your con and insight. And Scott, if you want to roll for the ship, you're going to be rolling off of ship's sensors and security.
Am I rolling one or two?
I thought I had my bag with me. I don't. I need some.
Here,
I need some.
I'll decant some for you.
Yes, please.
Am I rolling one or two, John?
Two, please. Unless you want to buy more with threat.
Let's not buy more with threat. Open that door for me real quick.
Oh,
I rolled a 16 and a 7. It had to be under 17.
And what am I rolling
hold
again?
on.
Ship assist.
Yeah, roll sensors plus security.
All right.
Just one die.
Right. Yeah, not the two. Sensors of 9 with security of 3 makes an 11. That's no good. Yes, I rolled an 18. That would be no successes.
All right.
Oh, no.
Hang on to the ship's character sheet there.
Certainly,
it is as much
gotcha.
as a character as you puny humanoids.
Yep, the ship was like bleep, bleep, blorp, nothing.
Yep. All right. You are coming up on a very, very large vessel.
Okay. Captain, large vessel straight ahead. There you go.
What else you got?
That's all I got.
It is showing very low power readings, but it is zooming along at sublight speed.
Oh, nice.
But it is obviously powered.
That's interesting.
And it's not Klingon or Romulan.
No, this is it is roughly cylindrical and very large, hundreds of miles.
Ooh, so it could be the ship that carried the whales. I mean, all right.
All of the humans on board immediately are like, "What?" But no, it's not exactly the whale ship.
Oh, okay. All right.
Fortunately,
That's good.
Nice.
Did it go? Okay.
yeah. And you just left the whale guy to die.
Oh,
He went down with the ship.
Ah, very nice. O'Neill,
Yes. Yes, Captain.
hail the ship.
Okay. Hailing the ship.
All right. You get an automated response. It is a series of mathematical equations. Somebody's phone is...
Yeah, I think that's me.
Your Pokemons are yelling at you.
Yeah. Sir, no one is responding. We're getting automated messages, mostly of mathematics. So
Yeah, based on your experience with ships, it's just giving you telemetry data. Like if you wanted to come up alongside it, is providing you information for that.
gotcha.
As you guys approach closer, you see that it is a very large, automated, very blocky ship at the front with a huge, more or less, pincer that is carrying about 10 of those rings from the previous system that you're in.
Oh,
It is carrying the donuts away.
the Kinkas.
So it's the guy. So that ship's carrying 2 cups of coffee and 2 dozen donuts.
It is carrying,
Nice.
but it is carrying a total of 16 of these enormous rings. So that's each one is about 100 miles thick, about 160 kilometers.
And it's transporting them at sublight?
Yep.
Oh, wait. Am I in medbay?
You can be on
the bridge.
Oh, okay.
bridge.
And it's transporting them at sublight?
Yep. It's a fraction of light speed, but it's a meaningful.
Well, I
fraction,
guess you
but-
can't go too fast because, and I'm being serious, it might damage the planets, rings, but that's incredible.
Yeah.
Also, it's moving at sublight while toting 12 of those planet rings.
16.
Sorry, 16. That's impressive.
So, Doctor, can you give me a full sweep for life forms on any of the rings or the ship or?
Certainly. I'll go to the science station and
Okay.
and I'll body check whatever poor instance they're out of the way. Be like, get out of the way.
Yeah. And also, Captain, we were able to communicate with the makers of these rings back wherever the heck we were before or whatnot. We might be able to do it again if you'd like.
Using those communications that we've uploaded to the computer, can you couple that with the universal translator and see if these are pure telemetry coordinates, as in we're going from point A to point B, or is this a form of communication?
It's basic communication. It would take hours to actually delineate the rest of the language.
You have 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, give
4.
me a give me a roll. This is going to be I think reason plus engineering is a reasonable thing, and you can roll computers. The ship can roll with you for.
I have 14. Does anybody have above or equal to 14?
Engineering? No.
Let me see here.
Science and doctoring, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Reason and engineering.
Reason is no. It's all you, big guy.
All right, roll 1 or 2.
2 and 1 for the ship. Roll off of computers and science, I guess.
Rolled a 14 and a 12, and it had to be does it have to be under a 14?
Under.
Okay,
You're rolling under.
1 success.
Low is good in this game. Equal or low.
And also one success, so 2 successes.
If
Okay.
if it's equal, because I rolled
Yeah.
a 14 and a 12, and I had to be under 14.
Yeah.
Then 2.
Okay.
So we have 3 successes.
3 total.
Okay. All right. You're able to access the files that were saved to the runabout
Okay.
from your previous away mission, and you begin to piece together information that that basically the ship's computer is giving you information of identifying itself that this is, and it is hauling these rings away from where it was. It is on a 9,000-year mission to take these rings to some system in the area with all the dead stars.
Wow.
So that wasn't a mistake we heard. It might have actually been 99999.
Error.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a similar looking contraption. It seems that it directs itself by occasional bursts of very high magnitude ion thrusters.
Okay.
But the whole thing is just sort of coasting along on its own momentum most of the time,
Just like me through college.
with occasional bouts of Diablo 2.
Just like me through college.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So is it coming out of the cloud, headed towards the cloud?
It is coming from the
from the donut station,
the factory,
right? From the factory, yeah.
the Star Forge.
So did we just cross its path in the?
You basically you're catching up with it. It must have been going for quite some time, but you've sped up past it,
Okay.
and you just happened to see it on your way out.
So its final destination. What is its destination in relationship to the gaseous cloud we are heading to investigate?
It is heading. It is heading roughly away from it. It is not heading directly towards it.
Okay.
You just happened
across it.
upon it.
Okay.
Yeah. It has sort of a crystalline look to it. This vessel.
Which makes sense from where we came from.
Sure. Gentlemen, thoughts? Do you think an away mission would be worthwhile, or do we have enough info from where we just came from the factory?
We have enough info. If you wanted to find out more, Captain, we could always tow it along and see what happens once it gets there.
Freebie for actually. I need to hand out some momentum first of all because you guys have been rolling off of that. So this is for your translation efforts. Give me a roll for scanning for life signs.
Okay, when that would be my reason plus science?
Sure, why not?
Okay,
Or
so I have an
medicine.
ability that plays off that.
Oh, okay.
I have technical expertise, which allows me to reroll one of my d20s.
Okay, and also the ship rolls with you because you're using ship systems.
Okay, so we all roll dice.
So one person rolls one die to assist.
I got you.
Okay, and I still roll 2?
You roll 2.
All right. Oh, there goes one.
Damn it, John.
Right off the table.
John, keep it on the table.
He's pretty new to this gaming thing. It's okay.
The ship gives you a success.
Okay, and we got to score under.
Yes.
So I'm at a 14.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll do better than that, but let's re-roll this 16, and it becomes a 19. That's worse. So
All right.
So you got one, I got one, or you got one, the ship got one. So
Yeah.
we're at 2
Okay.
successes.
So one momentum.
More momentum.
Actually, that is a difficulty 0. We're just scoring off of that to spend it later. You are reading Deep Cold. This has been going through interstellar space for quite some time. Anything that had been growing on these rings is now quite dead.
okay.
However, you do see organic matter and frozen water on ring number 14, all the way in the back there.
Captain, it looks like most of these rings are dead. Actually, I'd say all of them are dead. They've been traveling through space away from a star. They were unable to keep their own biospheres going. But number 14 appears to have frozen organic matter and water on it. If we did want to explore more, we might be able to find a water supply, which I don't know if we'll need so far. But if we need to see what sort of organic material was growing on these rings, we could possibly beam some aboard from ring 14. But echoing the helm... Josh, what's your character again? You're not the helmsman,
He's the helmsman.
you're the
Helmsman.
But echoing what the
O'Neill.
helmsman said, we could just speed ahead. We could explore these rings further, but in terms of practicality, it might be better just to go on to the Kinka system.
You mean the gas?
The gas, sorry, the gas.
Yeah, we're going to the gas. We didn't go.
Yeah.
We're not going to the Kinka.
That's
Kinka.
fine.
We're going to do it in that second.
I'm excited about the Kinka system, and so I know.
But Captain, we could try to extract more information from their databanks.
We could.
Seems like they like us.
I'm not seeing any crewmen. It might just be automated. But
you got no life signs,
yeah.
including from the main ship.
But
Can you recalibrate? O'Neill, can you recalibrate sensors to find the little puffballs,
Find the little puffballs?
like from the fact? Remember the little crystalline bug thing?
I don't think. Yeah. You were here for that, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Okay. Yeah, I can recalibrate, sir.
Calibrate and see if you see any of those. We'll consider those life signs for the ship.
Okay.
It'll be difficult because they're more or less made out of the same stuff that the the ship is. But give me a. Oh, do you need something?
Oh, no, I was trying to get Scott's attention.
Oh, okay.
My headphones went out.
Roll roll reason plus science.
Okay.
And
I don't think I yanked him. I did yank him out. Oh, John. Ruining this podcast.
All right, go ahead.
2 dice.
Rolled a 13. Had to get a 14 or below.
There we go. Thank you.
Rolled a 16, so 1 success.
All right. And the ship gives you 1 die for its sensors.
Go ship.
Woohoo! The ship rolled a 2.
Okay.
Critical success.
All right. Your momentum pool tops out at 6.
Okay.
And I believe you're at 5.
And we use momentum for extra die, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Or you can buy new dice with threat.
Yeah, baby.
So
Where we make him better.
1 gets you 1, 2 gets you 2. Well, for a total of 3.
3 gets you 2, right?
3 gets you 2, and 6 gets you 3.
Gotcha. For the roll you are currently doing.
Yes.
Okay.
So, so in other words, we'd have to spend 5 momentum and a threat?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, if you wanted to roll 3 dice off of a stack of 5, you would have to spend 1 threat. Now, it's not the end of the world if I get a threat, because
Right.
I already start with 2 threat per crewman.
So he's already got like 800,000
I've got 6.
threat.
Very close.
Well, aren't there like 1,000 some crew members on the?
Well, I'm PC.
kidding. I'm
Yes.
teasing.
I hate you.
I
I
know.
hate you.
My workers. I can put a check mark in today. So, all right, go ahead and set a course.
Okay,
did you,
looking
did you,
at it, you see that you catch those the bush bots moving around on the surface of this object,
Yeah.
occasionally, doing various functions,
Yeah.
and then they sort of melt back into the crystal.
Yeah, Captain, they have the same robotic life forms that we saw in the last place. So
Excellent. All right, continue on course to the gas giant or to the gas nebula,
okay.
the energized nebula, the belly of the beast, if you will.
The way this thing is going, you could always come back here.
That's my thought.
It's not going that fast. I mean, it's going at fractional light speed, but
Right.
still thousands of years.
Sure.
Got it.
Engage.
All right.
He said, "Zoop."
All right. You guys head out at high warp towards the
9.7.
the anomaly. Okay, so you have a few days of travel before your arrival on the outer edge of the WLM galaxy. So, Dr. Thebes,
Yes.
you get a comm from the ship's counselor. He is a young denobulan named Bolo. Bolo, he says, pardon me, Bolo to Dr. Thebes. Do you have a moment?
Dr. Thebes here.
I thought I was dealing with something that was a psych issue, but I'm beginning to think that it is more complicated. Would you please come down to medical 2, please?
Okay. I'll be there shortly. Where am I currently?
You were on the bridge.
Oh, well, then I leave. And I go to medical 2.
See ya.
All right.
Well, I didn't know if I was somewhere I needed to grab a kit and go, but then I went to medical 2, so.
Yeah, there. So you had there's a screen wipe, and you open the you walk through the door into one of the medical bays, and there is the denobulan counselor. He's same race as Dr. Phlox. He's got sort of the odd ridgy pattern around his face, and he is typing some notes on a pad, and he is sitting next to a medical bench where you see that there is a large human with the apparatus up around him, the sort of glass donut. Mm-hmm. And there are a couple of nurses who are tending to him. He's wearing what looks like some kind of exercise gear, like a silver leotard.
Is he wearing Yoko Jitsu gear?
He is it's not Yoko Jitsu, but it's it looks like he was doing some kind of sports when whatever it was happened.
Parisi squares.
Yep.
Nice.
Yes, he was totally playing Parisi squares. Very dangerous sport.
The most dangerous sport.
Mr. Bolo greets you. He's wearing he's wearing blues, science blues. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have a low cut dress for no obvious reason.
Beat me to the joke by that much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then Captain Jericho yells at her.
Yeah, she finally puts on a uniform. Never takes it off either.
Yeah.
For the rest of the show. Anyway, but he says, thank you, doctor. I thought this was a psych problem, but this is Mako Staff Sergeant Rosenstein. And he is a member of the Mako Marines, the boarding team.
Mm-hmm. What seems to be the problem then?
Well, he had some. He was in holodeck 3, and he had some kind of psychotic episode. But he also tests very high on the psi index, especially for a human. And so I'm beginning to think that he might be having some kind of attack.
It's interesting.
He doesn't have a history of psychosis, and his medical chart seems normal.
Well, I put on my lab coat and pull out my medical tricorder. Can you describe what sort of psychotic attack or that he might have? What were his symptoms?
Well, he basically had you notice that he has a contusion on his forehead. Like he fell over and hit his head pretty hard, cracked his coconut, and had lost consciousness. But his for some reason, when he was unconscious, he started having some kind of very harsh reaction. Woke up screaming, thrashing around. His teammates thought that this was unusual for him. He's normally referred to as lucky.
Well,
that comes from probably his very high psi index.
Well, first I want a high-res scan of his brain just to make sure that he hasn't hurt himself in a way that it might cause an attack. Second, I want us to treat the contusion just to make sure that if that is what's causing it, then it's no longer hurting him. And 3, after we perform the scan, I might try to probe his brain gently to see what his surface thoughts are.
Okay.
And if it is a psychic attack, though we haven't proved that or not, then I might be able to detect residual traces of it.
Okay. Give me a roll of reason plus medicine as you gather information.
Boom.
This is going to be a difficult roll. You can choose to spend some momentum for dice. Oh, yeah, you lose 1 momentum per scene. I'm going to say that was a scene change when you guys flew away from the ship.
That sounded like a good medical plan, by the way. That's solid.
Yeah.
I thought about how a doctor would treat it first. I mean, it could just be he got high in the holodeck, and Parisi Squares is dangerous, too. You don't want to hurt yourself playing Parisi Squares.
The Mako guy got high. I thought you were like, well, I thought about how a doctor would do it, and then I thought maybe I'll just go get high, and then I was like,
get
whoa,
really
what kind
high.
What kind of doctor are you?
High. Ooh, that's pretty good. A crit is what?
A 1.
Oh, well, I have a 3 and a 12 out of a 14.
Oh,
if you have a psionic specialty, I believe.
I do.
Okay, and that will
Psionic studies.
Under your medical, that will count for 2.
Oh, okay.
So the 3 will count for 2. So that is 3 successes.
All right.
All right. So going through his information, you see that that he there is something unusual that you do find. He did have a neural parasite on a previous mission.
Oh.
That was removed. It was brain slugs attacked him when he was on an away mission. They successfully saved his life, removed the slugs. He has had no problem since then. But it was a biochemical neural link reaction that did leave some traces in his biochemistry.
Oh. That's interesting that it would make him susceptible to some. Would it make? Well, hold on, backing up. Would that make him susceptible to any kind of like outside interference?
It would, based on your advanced psionic knowledge, it would make him more susceptible to very low frequency psionic fields.
That's interesting because I haven't felt anything, have I?
No, you have not. But this is something that Betazoids are very careful to avoid. Getting in touch with odd parasitic neural parasites.
Well, after I investigate him, I'm going to talk with I'm sure I have a second in command.
Yeah.
I'm going to lie down in a nearby bed and have them monitor my life readings, and then I'm going to try to see what this low-level field is because I'm a telepath, but I've had training.
Yes.
Perhaps I can see what it is.
Okay. All right. You begin to... okay, well, he's treated by your nurses. Mm-hmm. They treat his contusion, and they say, well, would you like us to resuscitate him, or... He's currently sedated, right?
I had a really good plan until the obvious thing. Yeah, before I do all that, resuscitate him, and then...
What was the obvious thing?
Wake him up and ask him what happened.
Oh, all right.
I had a really, really good plan that apparently involved leaving him in a coma.
All right. Well, whichever.
Resuscitate him.
Okay. They give him a hypo spray to his beefy neck, and he awakens with a start. With a sudden twitch.
What was his rank again?
He is staff sergeant.
Staff sergeant?
Says, doctor, hello. Where am I?
You are in medbay.
Okay, you see that he's in an agitated state, more so than you would anticipate based on the drug cocktail he's been administered.
I'm looking at his bio readings. Does it look like he's having a lot of adrenaline?
Oh, absolutely. And also just telepathically, you're picking up a lot of fear. And he is his blood pressure is high. He's having a very strong fight or flight response.
Is the restraint field on?
He is. He's. It'll stop him from running out of the room.
Restraint field on.
Okay. He's like, it's okay. I'm okay.
You are okay.
I'm lucid. You don't have to. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's impossible. It's impossible.
What's impossible?
He says, he calms down. You see that he's had a lot of training, and this is a man who has seen a lot of danger in his time. And he says, well, I guess that must have been a dream.
Tell me about it.
Well, I took a header. We were playing Parisi Squares, and I went up for a corner. And
wonder what the Federation banned that game.
It's like the only way you can hurt yourself in the holodeck is to fall on your head, and this is the game where that happens all the time.
All the time.
But he says, yeah, I went up for a double corner, and I took got hit in the forehead. And I was out for a minute, I guess. I was, and oh no, it's just, it's embarrassing. I was, he waffles a little bit, but he says, but I had this dream where, well, back during the war, during the Dominion War, and before I was fighting some Maquis, and the engagement turned lethal. And I had this dream that I was surrounded by some enemy soldiers that were casualties.
So you thought you saw soldiers that you had killed previously?
Yeah. He nods.
That's interesting. That might just be a symptom of PTSD, of which the ship's counselor would probably be better to treat you than I could. But what I'm more concerned with is the fact that you're displaying a higher than level psionic ability than what has previously been listed in your file.
I'm rated as a 7. They call me lucky, but mostly it's just I'm more intuitive than average.
Well, I'd still like to run more tests just to be sure, but It feels like you're reacting to something.
I've never had anything this vivid before. I don't normally. I have been tested for PTSD or post-traumatic problems. I have been adequately treated, and I'm not having any issues with that before.
Well,
I've passed the full Starfleet battery, and I know that it isn't the most rigorous, but
Staff Sergeant, I want to calm you right now.
Okay.
I am not declaring that you are unfit for duty. I am not going. I will perform more tests, but you are still on active duty for now.
Thank you, sir.
We are going to monitor you to see what is going on. So don't feel like you're having to explain a way to save your career.
Thank you, Doctor.
You had something happen to you. Now I will have to bring it up with the captain and with is there a lieutenant in charge of their team here? I feel like I would know. The player doesn't know. I feel like
sure. We'll say that you have a lieutenant under you,
and with your lieutenant, but I'm not making the recommendation for you to be taken off the active duty roster. But I'm going to recommend you stay here for at least another hour so we can monitor your vitals, run a couple more tests, and then I'm going to see if I can reach into what this low-level psionic field you were experiencing is.
Okay.
But just relax here, and then I'm just going to give a couple orders to the nurse, and then I'm going to try my plan. And
Okay.
let's see how it goes.
All right.
No one else on the ship needs to know.
All right. But yeah,
Seems legit.
Bolo,
Bolo.
the ship's Marco Bolo. Bolo takes you off to the side and says, "Well, yeah. So I don't think that this is a software problem."
Well, then we need to uncover what is causing this. If it's a hardware problem, then my test will find that. And if it is an external problem, then my test will reveal that too. But if you could stay by his side, help keep him calm. If he is showing heightened aggression, we need to get that under control. Because otherwise he will be a threat. By the way, we're like behind a door.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be across the bed. We're going, he's crazy.
Yeah, because he's an enormous bear of a man. He could probably mess you up really bad.
Yeah, but he put him in restraint fields. That was a good
True.
move, by the way.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, so just another thing, Bolo says before you go to enter your trance. It didn't make sense until now, but this isn't the first instance of bad dreams like this that I've seen.
I wasn't aware of that. No one else has come forward.
Well, it was something that we were that I was just working them through. I thought it was related to new ship, things like that. We've all been under a high degree of stress, but mostly it's some of the veteran members of the crew, and he begins to tap on his pad. Only 3 or 4 instances. They're all high psi aptitude. Let's see. There's a Vulcan named Natok. He's sort of a scaredy cat anyway. But
For a Vulcan?
well, I mean, he had a previous incident with a Danebian slime devil that traumatized him.
That's interesting.
And he is extremely cautious. But he said he had previously complained about disturbing dreams.
If you could do me a favor and select 10 people from that list and have them stop by sickbay. So, yeah.
He says I've got a total. He says I've got a total of, counts out 5. All of them are high psi aptitude, and I think they all have some kind of neurochemical damage in their past.
That's interesting. Have them all stop by sickbay, and then we will conduct tests to see if there's any common cause between them. But thank you.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go over to the corner, and I'm gonna lie down. I'm gonna try to see if I can feel this low-level psionic field.
Okay. All right.
Brain power.
Brain power. This is going to be, I'm going to say,
Incredibly stupid.
no.
You can
never
do it.
know.
The captain on the bridge gets to shiver down his spine of, oh no.
Oh no.
One of the side characters is screwing up the plot.
Yeah, since the captain on the bridge is sort of also a betazoid, do I get any sense of, I'm doing something I shouldn't be? Like,
You have
is he Captain Crazy over here?
you've already had your crazy moments. So
Oh, I know. Okay. All right, then I'm good. Then I'm fine.
Nice.
You're fine. You're fine.
right,
Okay,
good.
so we're going to call this your insight plus, because you're plumbing your internal depth of understanding of
Oh
yourself.
no, not plumbing.
Oh. And also, let's see.
I'm really good at insight.
Yeah, and also we'll call this medicine because you're performing this for that reason.
All right.
So
Now,
insight plus medicine.
is the maximum you can have is a 15 on a roll?
I believe it's no. You. It's
I have a
whatever it is.
16.
Yeah, you can have a 16.
All right.
Also, if you want, you could dose yourself with
Cortexiphan. Sorry.
neurotransmitters to attempt to emulate temporarily the effects of having your neural chemistry.
That'll be my next
Tampered
step because I'd like to be mostly in control of my own faculties.
Okay.
You should dose yourself with Cortexiphan, increase your neurotransmitter, and then do a handful of whippets before you lay down.
Just whip it.
But can I reverse the polarity of my subneural cortex?
Yeah. I would not recommend that.
I would not recommend that. Well, joke's on you. I got a crit.
A 1.
I won.
All right.
Boom.
Okay. You
He really did. Wow.
all right.
Damn it, John.
You begin to send
spend
out
some drugs?
calm yourself. You expand you reach out with your feelings.
I know them to be true.
And
Share with me. Share your pain with me.
and you begin to experience an odd vision where you're this is not something that normally you experience in your normal dreaming, but you begin to trance psionically, and then you have a dream or an experience where you are
Glow sticks. Yeah.
you are in the med bay of your previous ship. You are in the med bay of the Curie.
Oh, I like that med bay.
And it's there's
Hey, my favorite mug.
the EMH is helping you, and you're so it's like the med bay from Voyager, and you are reliving a traumatic memory where you lost a patient,
Oh,
where there was a young Vulcan who had been stabbed through the heart in an altercation with some primitives when you were exploring a planet. You had successfully beamed them onto the direct to med bay, but then there's green blood everywhere.
oh,
But the in this dream, just as they are about to, just as they have, you call the code. You've got the cortical stimulators on their head. They've lost too much blood. The neural cascade is setting in, and they are dying all over again right in front of you. And at the very end of this, which didn't happen the original, as you are, you're doing everything you can think of. You inject them with some other stuff. You've got hypospray, the cortical stimulator on the forehead, and just as they flatline and you're about to call the code, they immediately sit up and grab you by the lapels, and you awaken suddenly with a shock.
that was weird. I'll try to go back in.
Okay. All right.
You would.
All right. You straighten your lapels. Give me an insight plus con roll. We're going to say that this is going to take some precise memory.
You close your eyes, you see the Vulcan's face smeared with green blood, and he whispers, "Rosebud." Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I got a 1 again.
All right. You're
Different die.
You're like,
you
"No."
recite the control nursery rhyme.
I'm
from
of
your,
the house of the crystal chalice or whatever. Looks on
the Machbar chant of Tarak Naruth. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
That
ahead.
was-
Moving on.
By the
That was
Sons
Galaxy
of War.
Quest. Yeah, that was Galaxy Quest. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But you you recite your mantras and you center yourself and you concentrate on your psionic chakras, and you force yourself to go back into that vision. And there, you see that the EMH is rushing around. The memory is playing out how it was. And then you hear from right behind you, there is a deep voice just right behind your left ear that says, "Follow me into the dark." And suddenly,
If I turn around and it's Sam O'Neill, I'll be very upset.
you turn around and you see the sneering face of another Betazoid with the black eyes, an inch from yours.
Who are you?
And you at that point the vision ends.
Oh, come on.
But yes, you've definitely seen him. And then you realize that this. You begin to realize a few things. That was definitely. You've seen
Creepy?
You've seen somebody who looked like that before, and that was in the files relating to Heartbreaker.
From the very first.
The very first, yes. His so it turned so he was a Gamazoid, 0 psionic ability, less psi than a Sung android.
But he's not on the ship.
And he's not. And that was also not him, but that was his brother.
His brother?
Yes, you remember just in passing that this is something that you were briefed on, that there was his brother had previously gone through the aperture and was involved in this somehow.
And that's one of the reasons why Heartbreaker was on the original survey mission to A98, was because he was attempting to make contact through the wormhole with his brother.
Or somebody had
something.
sent for him.
Someone called Pat Benatar.
Yeah. And so the other, but here I'm going to give you a few things based on the scan that you had running on your brain. Mm-hmm. This is something that is affixed to the USS Opportunity. This is something built into the superstructure. It is a permanent thing that somehow hasn't been eradicated with a barometric sweep and things like that. There is a psionic field where the people who have been exposed to some kind of neuro agent and have a high degree of psi are going to be the ones who are affected by it first, but it is likely to expand its impact the longer people are on it.
Great. We got the broken ship.
Yep, it's haunted.
I blame the helmsman.
But looking through all of this,
You should.
you're going through this information. This is generally limited to lives that that the people, their nightmares. You start to refer to things. These are all these visions they're having are generally of people that they themselves have killed or failed to save.
Well, I have a theory about that.
Yeah. So it could be related. It could, some people would say that it's a manifestation of guilt,
Which I think he's feeding on.
or it could be that the ship is just haunted.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
haunted
the-
ship. I'm
that's
going to go
the
to my captain.
unreasonable.
Haunted ship.
Yes.
My captain will believe that.
Yep. So you have a rational explanation and a non, and somehow the Gamazoid is involved.
Captain, the ship needs Jesus. We got the devil here. We got to get him out.
And so that also, then, meanwhile, you're, sometime later, the captain is reading through this report, and he realizes, I touched the slug.
I touched the slug.
Yeah, it's one of your, you were exposed to a parasitic neuroagent. And you have the highest psi quotient of all of these people.
Oh, this is awesome.
And so you had that vision first.
Damn it.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, he had a he had a vision of all of those. He's also killed the most people.
Yeah,
He kind of blew up a Romulan ship full of Romulans.
Children.
Captain Lorca.
yeah. Oh, I wish that guy.
So, but there you go. Suddenly there are far-reaching consequences.
Oh crap!
And that'll do us tonight on Star Trek Adventures.
Star Trek. Doctor, your next mission will be to learn how to weaponize this field.
Wait,
all right.
what?
Oh, wait a minute. No, okay.
Oh.
No, I've already got a name for it. We'll call it the Traumatizer.
Evil.
Alrighty, then that'll do us tonight for Gaming with Scott. We thank you for listening to us, and as always, you'll hear from us real soon. Bye.
That'll do us tonight for Star Trek Adventures. You can send us an email at feedback@gamingwithscott.com. John Garlick is at JPMGarlic. Jay Duguay is at @1_nerdy_mama. John Kennedy is at JKMyth. And me, Scott T, is at GamingWScott. This is a Southgate Media podcast. As you boldly go through your life, remember to make the galaxy a better place than it was yesterday. And as always, you'll hear from us real soon. Bye.